Let's face it, nobody wants an angry wife, let alone a hungry one. You can take the difficult path to a happy life, but why not take the easy route? Let me help you. I'll be your guide to impress your wife with mouth-watering and eye-catching recipes that she'll surely love. Because you know what they say, happy wife, happy life. And today, what I have for you is a very simple mushroom soup recipe that you'll surely love. What's not to love about these earthy fungi? They're healthy and completely vegetarian. Some varieties can actually be a substitute for meat in terms of the texture of the flesh, like cep mushrooms. And some can catch a very, very high price tag like truffles. At work, we buy white truffles for about $3,800 a pound. That's a lot of money. But truffles are wonderful. I promise you that once my channel becomes successful, I will bring black and white truffles into the show so I can show you how you can use them in simple ways. It's nice to splurge every once in a while. Why work hard for nothing, right? Anyway, I got sidetracked a bit. Let's start by cleaning the caps of the mushrooms. I am using brown button mushrooms that's around 300 to 350 grams. These are available in almost any grocery store. If you can't find the brown ones, you can substitute the white button mushrooms. Using a damp kitchen paper, rub the cap gently to remove any dirt. I personally do not soak mushrooms in water because they are highly porous, meaning they're going to soak all the water, making it difficult to dry them out when cooking. But it's up to you what your style is. Next, we'll trim the end of the stalk just to get rid of any dark spot. If the stalk is not dark, you can keep it. Roughly slice the mushrooms into quarters or smaller chunks. Dice the onion. Now let's start cooking. Heat up a pot on medium heat. Pour in 1 tablespoon of oil and a tablespoon of butter. Throw in the onion and saute this until it starts to caramelize a bit. Add a bit of salt and pepper and a clove of garlic, a small stalk of rosemary, and lastly, a bay leaf. Then cover. Now that the onion is looking good and brown, we'll add the mushrooms. A teaspoon of bacon fat. This is optional. Cover and let this cook until the mushrooms are tender. Meanwhile, let's prepare the croutons. I have a baguette here that I will be slicing in 1 cm cubes. We'll then coat these in oil plus a bit of salt and pepper. Toast these in the oven at around 165 degrees Fahrenheit until brown, crunchy, and dry. Now we'll check on the mushrooms. They're already nice and tender. Let's pour in the water or stock. You can do a thick variation of this recipe, but I prefer my mushrooms a bit on the thin side. Let's simmer this again for about 10 minutes. Remove the bay leaf and rosemary stalk. Pour in the cream. Add more cream than what the recipe calls for if you want it to be creamier. Give this a taste just to know where you're at with the salt. Season. For a thicker soup, reduce the cream by half. Otherwise, we can start blending. So, using a hand blender, which is a wonderful appliance by the way, it's good to have this on hand. Just blend until you get your desired consistency. It's nice to leave a bit of small mushroom chunks. Very rustic, old world kind of soup. But if you are looking for a smooth mouthfeel, you might need to use a full-on blender. Give this a taste again, and if everything is good, let's plate it up. Pour the soup and just garnish with cream, sour cream, which is optional, the croutons, and a bit of olive oil or truffle oil if you have any. Then finally, a few leaves of the rosemary. And that's it. It's a very simple mushroom soup that looks like fine dining caliber. Impress your wife with this.